Oh my goodness. Happy to see you guys. Happy to see you. So I am here to tell you about my 1-month trip through Romania. What is most important is that this trip didn't really have bad moments or like really difficult moments, because mostly it was quite smooth. 99% of this trip was perfect. In 1 month, I was like continuously visiting touristic places, some resorts, some cool villages. I met randomly and spontaneously some villagers, some local people. Between visiting a place like a tourist and visiting it with an open heart and open mind, I will always choose visiting it with an open mind, with a small flavor of visiting it as a tourist. On the other side, it's more important to understand the story behind. Well, if you're visiting popular places like Dracula's castle or any other popular place, and yeah, okay, go visit it as a tourist. But if you visit a village or a community, there is no way you can understand that community without the help of a local. And it helps you enhance your own experience, your own perspective. It helps you open your mind. It's really important to get hand in hand with a local. I have to emphasize on this. I was expecting to have more problems with flying the drone, and I didn't. I only had the problem with a lady from a monastery. It was at Moldovica monastery, and she was screaming at me like, "Put that drone down, you're not allowed to fly the drone." And it was funny because I started to get angry because it was in a place where I knew I could fly the drone. She was like, "No, the higher in the hierarchy, the monastery chief, blah blah blah, he said no drones are allowed here," and stuff like this. But except that, no problems, nobody asking me. And I mean, I was even surprised that in some cities they asked me to fly the drone and to promote the place, and they were like really open. Like in Timișoara, there was a guy from the info point that told us, yeah, I mean, there are people that fly the drone here. As long as you're not flying the drone close to an airplane or airspace or military space or prison, then you're good to fly your drone. And also in Alba Iulia, they told us, I mean, they were really involved in the process of me asking about, regulations in flying the drone. And people were really open, like, hey, you're here to promote our place, and sure, just fly the drone. How it is to be a filmmaker for a month straight. To be sincere, to be frank, this is not easy. This experience is definitely not for everybody. Most of the time you may not enjoy the landscape, you may not enjoy the place. But in my case, I'm enjoying every time I film. The excitement of filming something which is really nice, even more enjoyable than the experience itself. And if I can combine the two, that's the perfect match. This is the perfect match if I can bring the two out of the shadow. For 1 month straight, almost every single day, I was filming something new, I was discovering something new, I was experiencing some local history, like knowledge, and people were really, really friendly. I literally had no bad experiences with people in terms of filming and photographing. If you come to Romania, do not be afraid of filming, do not be afraid of flying the drone, but please be careful, respect the regulations, be as human as possible. Don't fly and don't photograph without asking for permission. In my opinion, traveling is an experience, or it's a set of experiences that everybody should have in its arsenal, a life arsenal. I think traveling is like education. Traveling is something that has to be taught, somehow integrated in every young people's experience. It's so important because it helps you understand how people in rural areas are living, what they are eating, how they are earning their money. In the same time, it puts you in difficult or different situations. You have to, you actually train your responsibility meter. It's like you develop those skills that actually help you in life, how you manage your money in your trip, your limits in terms of accommodation, how much comfort you're willing to give up for cost, and how many experiences you can handle in one day, and many more. This is something that school doesn't teach us. School is there to give us the theory, the knowledge, the very classical knowledge, but your soft skills, your life skills will only be developed outside schools, most of the time. This trip gave me the opportunity to drive my car, to drive wherever I want, to film whatever I want, to plan my trip according to my needs, and to travel on my own way. I had a chance to put myself into my own trip, and this made the trip perfect because I set the expectations accordingly. And this is what I suggest you should do. Take a sabbatical, 1 week sabbatical, go out there and explore an area that you always wanted to explore. In the end, will make you happy that you've been there. And trust me, the experience will not be the same as you imagine it. Our imagination plays the role of bringing you to the real world. The real world, it's not the same as our imagination. It might be better if we set our expectations accordingly. It might be worse if we expect that we'll find gems and gold and money and fame and something like this. This is my lesson from this trip.